What it do, T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 8 review. Okay, you guys, so we start off the episode with Meredith and Lisa going to the spa, and Heather meets them up there so she can tell them about her situation or conversation that she'd had hours prior with Bronwyn. And she tells them that Bronwyn basically invited her to her home to tell her she is a person. And I was like, that is not what the hell happened, Heather. Like, Heather just completely flipped that whole conversation and made it to where she is the victim when in reality she was the antagonist. So Lisa then decides that she was irked with Bronwyn when Bronwyn called her that morning and asked would she be good with Whitney and Justin coming along on this couples trip, because she feels like Bronwyn feels that the situation between her and Whitney and Justin and John was Lisa's fault. And girl, it was. Like, what planet do you live on where you think that you were in the right in this situation? Like, Lisa is crazy. She is delusional. So now she got an issue with Bronwyn. Meredith says that she has an issue with Sean, Angie's husband, because at their anniversary party, they had a one-on-one talk where she basically confronted him for saying in an interview that she was using Brooks as a pawn to deflect from basically trying to out him as being gay. Surprisingly to her, Sean didn't back down from his statement. He was like, that's how I felt. And Meredith was stunned that he didn't apologize and he stood in his truth. So she got a problem with Sean. Heather has an issue with Bronwyn. And Lisa has issues with Bronwyn and Whitney. So this is about to be a catastrophe on this couple's trip, even though Heather is not attending. As they're packing for the vacation, Bronwyn's husband, Todd, makes it clear that he does not want a weekend of drama. Let me tell you something. I'm scared of Todd. Todd scares me, honey, because he is a no-nonsense type of man. He is a type of man that when he says something, you better listen. When he puts his foot down, you better step and fetch, okay? I'm scared of that old man. So it's day one of the couple's trip to Palm Springs, and Bronwyn and Todd have rented a private jet for them to use to get there. Lisa still isn't over what happened with Justin, like he did something to her and like he ran up in her face and accused her spouse of being a liar. Like, what? Bronwyn is upset with Lisa and Meredith because during the flight, she was telling them about what happened with Heather. And basically, Lisa was like, when Heather's your friend, she's really your friend. Basically saying to Bronwyn's face, like, I don't see her being that way towards you. It gotta be more to the story. It was like she wasn't being a neutral party to the situation. And it made Bronwyn feel like they were constantly trying to explain Heather's point of view and agree with her instead of, like I said, being neutral and not taking sides. So she feeling like, what's going on here? You know, and then she also felt like Lisa was kind of being a little distant towards her. So things are already starting off very rocky. They get to the estate, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, I've seen this house somewhere. Lo and behold, it is the same house last year that DDG and his brother Dub rented for a family vacation. And it was the vacation that they went on where people actually started to really suspect that Hallie was indeed pregnant. And that house cost a pretty penny to rent. It's a gorgeous estate. Like, oh my God, I would love to stay there. As soon as they get to the house, Seth get to running around the house, child, trying to find a room with a bathtub for Meredith. But unfortunately, none of the rooms have bathtubs. Like, that man was scared for his life. Then, only a few hours into the trip, Bronwyn has a jeweler come to the house so she can pick out diamonds for her anniversary gift. One of the things that she asked to see were these beautiful diamond earrings that cost about $1 million. They were huge. And then it was a diamond necklace that retailed for about $4 million. And Todd didn't flinch, baby. He did not flinch. So she got to keep the jewels and wear them and then decide which one she wanted to actually purchase. That's when you know you rich, when the jeweler trusts you enough to leave you with the diamonds. Girl, let me live your life. Okay, ma'am? So Seth tells Meredith he has to leave early, and she doesn't like this at all, because he'd already just gotten into town the night before and his flight was late. And now you're telling me that you got to leave early and we ain't even been here 24 hours yet. And she says to him, this is just like Toronto. And one of the biggest issues in Meredith and Seth's marriage is that he's constantly always gone. And it's like she's basically living a life as a single woman. And Seth says in his confessional, Meredith has an insanely high expectation level, and sometimes I can't meet them all. Like every fucking day, I can't meet them all. But as he's having a conversation with Justin, he admits that in the past, he was gone a lot. I don't know if it was Justin or John. I think it might have been John. My bad. But he admitted that he is gone a lot. So it's just like, how can you not understand where she's coming from, sir? You already know that y'all have had marital problems throughout y'all relationship. Y'all just most recently got through a big hurdle. Then you should know that you got to stay on your toes and keep things copacetic in your marriage if you don't want to go down that road again, because a person can only go through this so many times. You have to learn how to prioritize family and not just work. So I understood where Meredith was coming from. Like, this is a couple's trip and I'm about to be on a couple's trip without my husband. And like, I just saw you. We just only breathe the same air for maybe 10 hours and you already got a dip. And she even said, it's something ain't right about this. And now I don't know if she was basically trying to allude to, you got somebody else up there that you trying to run back to, but that's what it was very much given. And I was like, ooh. So Meredith was not a happy camper at this point. I can't remember who Bronwyn was talking to, but she basically was telling someone how when they got there, she was noticing that like Lisa was being, once again, very distant towards her, and that she even took out the time to go up to her and John and ask, were they good? Are they okay? Is the accommodations good and everything? And they were like, yeah, but she could just feel like something was off, but she didn't want to like just assume or anything like that. So the ladies and the guys are at the pool and in the hot tub, and it's the guys, you know, in the pool, the girls are in the hot tub, and it's hella awkward with the ladies, right? The energy is just weird. Bronwyn gets up to go and use the bathroom, and as soon as she's gone, here go Lisa saying how she feels bad that Heather isn't there. And Whitney was like, well, I heard Bronwyn tried to apologize to her. And Lisa was like, well, I didn't hear the same story from Heather. And Meredith jumps in and was like, yeah, I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. Basically trying to say that, nah, she didn't apologize. She was a bitch to her. And once again, it's like they're just taking Heather's word for it and not giving Bronwyn the benefit of the doubt, especially Lisa, because they've known each other for years, and it's just like she's agreeing with Heather that Bronwyn is this horrible person all of a sudden. So Meredith then suggests that they call Heather to get her side of the story. And Angie in her confessional says that, girl, this is not a good idea to call this lady while y'all are on Bronwyn's, you know, vacation, and how it's a double standard with Lisa all the time. So as they're on the phone FaceTiming with Heather, Bronwyn returns and is caught off guard when she sees that Lisa is on the phone with Heather. So she like, should I come back? Like, the fuck is going on here? So she sits down and she says, like, why are we doing this right now? And Whitney was like, I don't know, because you were gone. Basically saying, yeah, girl, they tried it and they pulled it when you left trying to be funny. Because they wasn't going to just do that while you were sitting here. So Bronwyn is immediately pissed. And as soon as they get off the phone with Heather, she confronts them. And she says to Lisa, it feels a little shady to call her and be like, we miss you, we miss you, we miss you. So Meredith is like, we're just sad she's not here. Bronwyn says, I'm sad Heather isn't here without a relationship too. Yo, that went over their head. That went over their head, baby, because Bronwyn shaded the fuck out of her. Like, I'm sad she ain't here with a relationship too, child. So Lisa says, and we believe you. And Bronwyn says, frankly, I don't care if you believe Heather over me. It's kind of weird if you came, and you do. But I also think that we have a long relationship, Lisa. And I don't just listen when someone talks poorly about you. Baby, got her together so quickly. Lisa was like, I don't think she was speaking poorly about you. I think she was just explaining her side of the story. Bronwyn responds, you assume that I invited Heather over to fight with her so she couldn't come on a trip. And Lisa was like, you're putting words in my mouth. And Bronwyn was like, no, actually, I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm asking you, is that what it is? Because I don't hear a lot of words coming out your mouth. And that does kind of bother me because these two and others can attest that words actually do come out of my mouth when someone speaks about you. Honey, come on, Bronwyn. I love how matter of fact she is when she gives it to these hoes. She does not mince words at all. I love it. Love it. All right. So then they flash back to when she was on that little hiking trip with Whitney and how Whitney was talking about Lisa. And she basically was like, look, I respect what you're saying, but that's not the person that I know, right? So she was being neutral, and she was also having her friends back and giving her the benefit of the doubt, which is something that Lisa has not done towards Bronwyn. So then Bronwyn points out how Lisa never calls and asks her, is she okay? After Brittany yells at her and all of this stuff. And Meredith was like, Lisa listened to Heather's feelings. She did not throw you under the bus. Well, first of all, Heifer, you just know half of the story. This ain't the first time Heather has talked about Bronwyn to Lisa. So you only can base that off of what you saw when y'all was at the spa, Meredith. So you need to sit this one out. So Bronwyn was like, did she defend me? And Meredith says, to the extent I think she can. What does that even mean? That basically was like, no. So I'm like, nah, she didn't defend her. She talked shit about her too. Yeah, she found her own reason to have an issue with Bronwyn. So Bronwyn was like, so here's the thing. You don't have to defend me, but when you don't defend me and you tell me this is Heather's feelings, and then the second I have to take a leak, you call Heather. Like, the fuck? Baby, I love the fact that she said as soon as I had to take a leak. You don't hear the Housewives say that. That's why this gives me very much that Bronwyn either got hip people around her, she hang around some gay boys, she got black girlfriends or something, because I be noticing and peeping how she be talking that lingo, okay? So I noticed that Angie was smirking when she said that, because Angie was looking like, did she really just say when I went to go take a leak? So then Lisa flips it and asks Bronwyn, did she check on her after Whitney lied about her? And she was like, actually, I did check on you. And the producers show when she did. And it's like, girl, how you gonna try to turn this around and act like you're the victim once again? So Todd is in the pool and he's getting nervous because he must know his wife, and he must know that his wife will go from 0 to 100 real quick. So he quickly was like, y'all guys, we got to go handle this. We got to go stop this. So he swims over to where the ladies are, and he was like, why don't we just call Heather? And Angie was like, we did, Todd. That's why we're arguing. Thank you, though. He was like, okay, shit, let me shut the fuck up. So Bronwyn says Heather is saying Bronwyn is two-faced, Bronwyn is untrustworthy, Bronwyn is this, Bronwyn is that. But Bronwyn is saying, I want to be friends with Heather. I tried to apologize to Heather. Listen to the difference. Heather is talking me for talking someone else, while I'm trying to fix it, and everyone thinks that Heather is the one that's missed. Figure it out, Lisa. Lisa was sitting there looking stupid in the face because she not used to just really checking her for real. So Lisa's like, I don't want to fight with you about Heather. I don't want to be involved in it. I think you and Heather need to work out this between you and Heather. All of a sudden now, you don't want to be a part of it. Girl, get the out of here. So Bronwyn was like, no, that's a double standard, because you're telling me that when Whitney says something about you, I should call and check on you. But when Heather and I have an argument, I'm supposed to work it out with Heather. Why is it my responsibility to work things out? But when it's you and someone else, my ass better ride your dick like it's my job, Lisa. And I was like, oh, no, she didn't just say it's my job to ride your like it's my job. But not one lie was spoken, and she got up and stormed off, and Lisa was just sitting there bewildered, honey, because she didn't know what to say and what to do. But she just, only thing she could do was just continue to deflect and act like she didn't do anything wrong and that she ain't been acting funny towards this girl. If you feeling some type of way, why didn't you call her and tell her, hey, that upset me when you called to ask me and my husband, are we good with Justin and Whitney being there? Even though I don't understand what the issue about that would be. She was literally trying to take your feelings into account and make sure that you would be good. But then you want to take that and run with it and act like she was trying to be condescending or something. Like, Lisa, you are fucking weird, bro. And Meredith is going back to season 1 Meredith, where she is siding with Lisa and not holding Lisa accountable for anything. So I'm already seeing why she and Mary are going to fall out, because Meredith is back to being season 1 Meredith, and I don't like it at all. After Bronwyn stormed into the house, Whitney went inside to check on her. But outside at the pool, Lisa has the nerve to say that she doesn't feel like she's done anything wrong. And when those two work it out, everyone can apologize to her. Like, everybody always owes this lady an apology. No, you and your swollen cankles are the one that owe everybody else an apology. So inside the house, Whitney and Bronwyn are talking, and Bronwyn is, steady going off about how Lisa knows that she's going through a private family matter that she's involved in, and then she's going to turn around and then treat her this way. And she's just fed up. And then here come Daddy Todd, honey. Daddy Todd come in to lay the smack down. Whitney hurries up and scurries back outside because everybody is scared of Daddy Todd. She was like, sorry, Todd. Todd tells Bronwyn, I told you I wasn't going to deal with this with these people. I think I told you specifically, her, I wouldn't do this. Either I would leave or they could leave. And I'm getting there. So Bronwyn was like, I know. You said it. It was when that man said, I told you I wasn't going to deal with this with these people. He talks about them like they are like peons, like they are some minions, like they are below him. And it tickles my fancy that he is that rich that he could call these other rich ass people these people. So Todd says, why don't I just tell John and Lisa they should leave? We'll give them some money, get them a car, and they can leave. The fact that he is insulting these people by saying that he will give them some money and get them a car so they can shoo the fuck on, baby, let me become that rich. So Bronwyn was like, well, maybe I should tell them because I'm nicer than you. And in her confessional, she goes on to talk about how Todd is an asshole and he gives zero fucks about nothing in life. And she don't want him to cuss these people the fuck out. But Todd goes outside and tells John, either y'all gonna have to fix this or y'all gonna have to leave because I'm already sick of it. And I don't blame him because we only a few hours into it and your wife once again is acting a goddamn donkey. So John rushes in the house to go and tell Lisa what's going on. And soon as he tells her, here she go, getting the blink in her eyes because she just cannot believe that somebody is even threatening to put her out of something. And I think that she's realized that she can only push Bronwyn but so far. And something is telling me that she's going to try to fix this with Bronwyn because once again, Bronwyn is way richer than she is. And Bronwyn is in circles that Lisa would die to be in. So I don't think this is a relationship that she wants to totally fuck up. I think that she got Bronwyn on this show and wanted to test and see how far she can push her and to see if she was going to be able to steamroll her like she does everybody else. And she quickly realized you fuck around and you find out. Okay. I can't wait for next week's episode to see how everything is going to conclude, if they're going to end up leaving, honey, because I love Daddy Todd, okay? And I need me a Daddy Todd in my life. I'm going to give this week's episode of Salt Lake City, I'm going to give this week's episode a B+. B+. Still a great episode. Still full of drama. Still loving everything. Good episode. I'm enjoying this season immensely. But Mary was very much missed. Mary said she couldn't come on the trip because she was spending time with Robert Jr. I feel like if Mary was there, it would have just taken things up several notches. Okay? But you guys let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think about this week's episode. Let's talk about it. Make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know when my videos drop. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.